welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles, and today is a Motivational Monday video. Motivational Mondays, for those of you that are new, I pretty much go over any scriptures, any sayings, any life events or experiences from me or from you guys that you share with me. I go over them on Mondays to give us inspiration and motivation for the week. So it's actually Sunday night, but I do have some things to do in the morning, and so I want to make sure that I'm not rushing too much or that I don't have time to put out the video, so I'm gonna record it tonight. So I'm inside of my car. I try to turn all the lights on in my car, so I have like my lights up here on, the lights back there on. Like, I try to have all of my lights on so you guys can see me. So guys, please bear with me for this Motivational Monday. I still really want to get out a good motivational message, and I still want to inspire all of you guys and encourage you, and I want some encouragement as well. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Before we get started, be sure to give me a big thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed, and let's go ahead and get right into the video. So the saying that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. I really like this quote too. If you guys know, if you've been watching Motivational Mondays, you know that I pick sayings that I really, really like and that touch my heart. I like this saying a lot because a lot of us, you know, we get discouraged after, you know, something we try doesn't work. And even before we even start, a lot of times our mentality, our mindset, we can just be like, just not wanting to do it. And when I say do it, I mean follow our dreams, do what actually we need to do to make sure that we're being as successful as we possibly can. I think so many people forget that a part of your success story is your failure. And I hate saying failure because I try not to look at anything in my life as a failure. You know, I try to go into everything that I do with the mindset of, even if it doesn't work how I'm anticipating it to work, it's still going to work. And it's still going to work out, you know. And I get that because in the Bible, it does state that all things work for the good of those who love the Lord. And so that really resonates with me, because even if you do have a story where you have failed or where something didn't come to pass like you wanted it to or expected it to, does not mean that you're done, does not mean that you can't help others, does not mean that you can't motivate, encourage, and does not mean that you still can't pick yourself back up and keep moving. I tell you guys all the time, whenever you're starting something, whether it be a new business, a diet, a new job, it's okay to be nervous, and it's okay to not know what's going to happen. But what we want to make sure that we're doing is we want to make sure that in every situation in our life, we're learning something from it. So if you learn something from your quote unquote failures, if you learn something from your downfalls, then it was all worth it, in my opinion, because there's nothing like going through something and actually being able to attest to how this certain experience worked for you, and what some of the things are that you did that you would change, and what some of the things are that you learned from the situation. So the first thing that I want to go over with that quote is, number one, let's focus on what we learned from our so-called failures, okay? So let's use me as an example. When I opened my shop, you know, a lot of people were asking me, and people would come in daily because people were just shocked, like, you opened a salon, Brittney, like you just opened a whole shop. And I would talk to different people. You know, I'm very down to earth. I don't have a problem with sharing my experiences, obviously. And so I would tell them, and a lot of people would say, I want to do something like that, but I'm really scared that it won't work. And so it's like, even if you're scared of something not working, I'm more scared of not living my life than I am of trying something and it not work that way. When you try different things, when you actually put yourself out there, you find not only different ways that work and different ways that don't, but you also find out more about yourself, and you find out, this is a path, or this is something that I really, really enjoy, or this is something that I really don't. And so as long as you learn something, as long as you're able to sit back and say, okay, what did I learn from this situation? Me being in a salon, I learned so much, so many things that I wouldn't have learned unless I had done it, you know. And from that salon experience, I've been contacted from different schools, like different colleges have reached out to me in my area, asking me for more insight on my experience, whether it be the hiring portion of my journey, whether it be the student aspect, so the people that came from their college, and how was I able to engage, not even just schools, but there's other people, other places that reach out and want to know more about, you know, my experience. And so it's not just a huge failure. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, she opened a shop, she closed it, she's a failure. It's not like that, you guys. It's really like trial and error. And what you guys don't, what a lot of people don't show, being an entrepreneur, is they don't show the full process. Being an entrepreneur, a lot of people that own businesses, have businesses, close businesses, reopen businesses, close. They do a lot of different things. Even some stores in our local mall. I know Charlotte Russe is leaving our mall, and Payless and some other places. And when I Googled to figure out why Charlotte Russe was leaving, and Charlotte Russe is a pretty big company, or so it looks like it, right? But they filed bankruptcy. And so I'm just saying that it doesn't mean that, I'm just trying to say that not everything is what it looks. It's not either you succeed or you fail. There's so many different areas in your business, and it's more than just black and white. A business is never just black and white. There's so many gray areas. So if you're learning something from your experience, which I learned so much from my salon, I've learned so much from my drop shipping program, I've learned so much from just selling hair extensions, I've learned even so much from having a YouTube channel. I'm learning every day, and I really enjoy learning. You don't have to just be in a classroom or just in a work environment per se to learn, you know? So I say, if you learn something from whatever you've done, whatever you consider failure, it's well worth it, because it's something that you can attest to that you wouldn't have been able to if you didn't go through it. Second thing that I want you guys to focus on is, while you were going through your failures, or while you were going through the things that, you know, and I hate saying failures, you guys. It's so hard. That's why I keep doing this, because it's truly not a failure, you know. And really what I want you guys to get out of this video is how to have successful failures. Successful failures. I may even title the video this, I don't know. But when I say successful failures, a lot of people look at me like, successful failures? Yes, because if you're learning something from what you're doing, you still have success in it. And so that brings me to, who did you meet? So when you're trying something new, when you're doing something that you're passionate about, when you're starting your business, whatever it is that you're doing, and you're like, wow, this didn't work. You know, I really tried and this just didn't work. It's like, look back on the experience and say, you know, who did I meet? I know from my experience, even with the salon, I've met some wonderful people. I met people in the salon that I would have never met if I didn't have the salon. I met people that I still talk to today that came actually to visit me at the salon. I met people where I got to know people better that I've always knew my whole life, but I was able to work with them. And you know, not just that, it's actually the communities and the connections that you can meet or make in the community as well. Because when you are a business, or when you're putting yourself out there, it's only natural to, you know, meet other people and meet other entities and other businesses, and, you know, things that can really help you. So you kind of build a network, you know. And I get asked a lot, you know, how did you start getting your name out there? You know, I live in a small city. I live in a small city, you guys. I don't have a lot of friends. But it all starts from just putting yourself out there. And like I said, being more afraid of not living up to your full potential and following your dreams than, you know, being afraid to actually start. I'm not afraid to fail. I'm just afraid to not do it. You know, I'm afraid to say, these are all the ideas that I had, and I didn't try any of them. I didn't go for any of them. I want to do what I want to follow my heart, and I want to do something that I feel fulfilled with every day. And so, like I said, you guys, also focus on when you're feeling like you're down and when you're like, I'm a failure. Who did you meet? What kind of relationships do you have? Because even at some jobs that can be poor, like pretty crappy jobs, you can still find people there that are like lifelong friends, and people there that are really, really supportive and can really go with your support network. And you're like, wow, I didn't really love this job, but I'm really glad that I went to this job because I was able to find this person that I now have a lifelong connection with. Also, third thing that I want to go over is, how can you use your experience to help someone else? So even with the salon, I keep mentioning that because that's just a topic or example that I'm going to use for this video. There's so many people that I can help and inspire with my salon experience. You guys, I get so many emails from people that are opening salons, people that have been in the salon industry for so long, people that are going to start working as a stylist at salons, and they just have so many questions for me. And I'm really happy to answer them, because it's like, why not? You know, I love talking about my experiences. I love sharing insights and things that worked for me and things that didn't work for me. And so if I can use my experience, if I can actually do something and be able to say, you guys, I went past this mountain and this is what it looks like on this side of the mountain, you know, so you all don't have to climb up this way, you know, because I did it and this is what was on the other side. You know what I mean? You definitely can go over there to see it yourself. But for those of you that are like, you know what, I just want your insights on it, I can do that. I can provide it for you. And so I don't look at anything, just to sum it up again, as failures, because there's so many good things that come out of failing or not succeeding the first time. And I just think how boring it would be if everything you did, you got right the first time. Riding a bike, it took me, I mean, I don't know, I rode a bike when I was really, really young, but I remember falling and I remember the scrapes and the bruises. And it's like, what kind of story or childhood would I have if I couldn't say, hey, look at some scars that I have from my childhood, or even when I had my children, you know, the stretch marks that I have, it still tells a story. And I used to remember being so down on myself, like, man, I have stretch marks, I'm young, you know, this is not cute. But it's like, it's my story. This is my story. This is my journey. And so I just want to encourage you guys that no matter what you're going through, whether it looks beautiful now or not so beautiful, it's not like you cannot keep moving, and it's not like you won't find a way that won't work. Even when you first start cooking, I remember, I'm not the best cook, you guys, let me just put that out there, but I used to burn oatmeal or make it to the point that it was super dry that milk couldn't even revive it. I would mess up when I was boiling eggs. I mean, there was just but everything that I did, I could look back now and laugh and say, you know what, when I was younger, I did this. And so, son, when you're cooking your eggs, maybe you want to try it this way, because, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, you guys, let's stop getting so down on ourselves, like I say all the time, and let's really focus on failing successfully and learning from our failure, so to speak, and being able to inspire others through it. And I really am an advocate on your mindset. If your mindset is in a positive place and you're like, you know what, I'm going to train myself to start being more optimistic, then you won't even consider things that don't work out failures. You really don't, you know. You'll start looking at them as, wow, this ended up being a blessing. This ended up being a blessing. Like I said a few minutes ago, how everything works for the good of those who love the Lord. It's really true. Sometimes I just look back at my life and I'm like, wow, like how did this happen? You know, I didn't expect this to happen like this. Well, this wasn't how I envisioned the book to be, but the story and the overall journey ends up being better because it's not in my hands. I can't control everything. All I can do is do the best that I can and keep trying and follow my heart. And, of course, follow God and be me. You know what I mean? Be me, learn from my mistakes, and help others along the way. So you guys, I really hope this video helped someone. I felt like I was all over the place, but I hope you guys took something away from this video for Motivational Monday. If you guys have any questions, be sure to leave the questions down below. Make sure that you are subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.